The owner of this 2016 Lexus LS drove 700 miles to our shop to replace a light bulb that the dealership couldn't replace. How about that? Sounds just, yeah. Let's get started with this video. I'll share with you just the level of negligence from this dealership that works against them. I just don't understand it. This 2016 LS460 was purchased by the owner around 2 years ago. They owned the 2007 before it. Got unfortunately in an accident, got totaled. They loved it so much, they felt so safe in it when that major accident happened. They purchased this one. This one is a much newer one, much better one. It's actually fully loaded LS460. You rarely find these days. Almost the level of an LS600. When they bought it and drove it, everything was great. We're very happy with it. Then nighttime came around. Left the lights on auto. As soon as they started driving, PCS warning came on. Triangle light came on, saying that there's a problem. The message says pre-collision system malfunction, visit your dealer. Screen said pre-collision malfunction, visit your dealer. The whole Christmas tree lit up. Well, what's going on here? Car drove normal. Oh, well, there's a problem. Figure it out. We just bought this car. They took it to the Lexus dealer. Lexus dealer initially just shrugged it off. We don't see any problem. We drove it. There's no warning lights. Yes, but it only happens at night when you're in auto headlights. Well, it's day right now. What do we want us to do? Well, can you keep the car, look into it? No, because we don't see any codes or nothing. Okay. Well, customer, they're the experts, right? That very night, light came on again. Same thing. Every single time you drive this car at night, PCS light comes on and the whole Christmas tree lights up. Next morning, everything is off. This time, called the dealership, told them, hey, this is not working. I have a problem with this car that's consistent every single time it comes on. Can you look into it? I'm willing to pay. I mean, I want to fix it. I just bought this car. It's a beautiful car. They told him, okay, drop it off. We'll give you a loaner. We're going to charge you $200 for diagnosis. That's fine. We get it. They kept the car for an entire week. He's in their loaner. He only paid them $200. So right now, I feel like they're at a loss. They basically told the customer, we could not duplicate the concern. Again, we tried and tried and tried. We don't see anything wrong with the car. I mean, again, the owner was like, well, they are the experts. Get the car back. Maybe they did something and it fixed it. That's why they're not seeing it. He went to pick it up at night from the dealership. As soon as he starts the car, drives away, Christmas tree lights up. At this point, he's so disheartened from it. He just left. Called the dealership again. Hey, here's a video of the problem for you in case you guys don't see it. I literally picked it up from your dealership and it did exactly the same thing. I don't understand. Talk to the manager, back and forth, whatever. Okay, drop it off again. We're gonna look into it. But this time, drop it off for a long time. Let's find out. Well, they kept it for a week again. He's in their loaner. This time, he's not paying them anything. Basically told him, we checked every single thing. We looked at everything. We don't know what the problem is. Okay. At this point, he's like, okay, is this car possessed or something? Maybe. At this point, he's like, okay, I'm done. This is drive it. Christmas tree, it is what it is. Car runs fine. We'll be fine. On 2 separate occasions after that, for an oil change or some maintenance, he asked the dealership, hey, by the way, this problem is still happening. Anything you guys want to look into? They look into it. No, don't know what's going on. Just basically, if it's not some easy maintenance that's just a money flush, we don't want to deal with this car. Get it out of here. We're not talking about some Lexus dealership in the middle of nowhere that has no technicians, no experience. There's only 3 cars in town. This is a major dealership in the Philadelphia area. Actually, one that is supposedly decorated. Here's the best part. Customer at this point basically just gave up. That is so sad. When you have a problem with your car that is Not something very minute and extremely difficult happens once every 6 months. Of course, problems like that are very difficult to diagnose, but this is consistent. Every time you drive it at night, well, that happens. The customer discovered himself, if you don't put the lights on auto, you just turn them on normally, there's no warning lights. Well, that's what he did. For the next almost 2 years of ownership, he just gave up. I mean, what are you going to do? Kept driving it. Then found our channel, followed our channel, decided to actually schedule an appointment here just as a last resort. Hey, maybe these guys will figure it out. If they don't, well, it is what it is. He actually scheduled an appointment. Unfortunately, as we got close to the appointment, they had a family emergency and they had to cancel. Scheduled another appointment until we figured out the times, whatnot. 4 months have passed. We get the car here. Customer drove 700 miles. I get the car, and of course, at this time, it's daytime. I go drive it, no warning lights. Okay, let's dive into it. I'm actually going to connect the scan tool and show you exactly what we did. The customer was waiting at that point. He didn't even leave. He's like, can you just look over the car also while we are here and figure out this problem, please? If you need it more, I have a flight. I think he came in around 10 o'clock in the morning, and he had a flight back home at 4:30. So we had plenty of time. He's like, I'm going to wait in the waiting room until my flight time. I'm going to leave the car with you if you need it. This is like my last try with this thing. Let's hook up a scan tool and show you exactly what I did and what we found. So we're going to connect our scan tool to the car. Let's go through it. This car, by the way, has 109,000 miles. Beautiful, high spec LS460. I mean, this thing is an L model, has every single option available. Not always the best thing for reliability, but it is a very cool car. It has a lot of options. Initially, I did a health check just to see. So the health check checks every single computer for codes, because I don't know what we're going after. We're going to check everything and see what we see, maybe some evidence, some history code. Right now, if you started, like in that day, we drove it, there's no warning lights, because it only happens at night. Well, it's not night. Okay, we got to this point. I'm going to actually cut through the health check and the whole thing. We're going to go to the pre-collision computer right here, pre-collision 2. This is what I have. Infrared signal circuit. And if you look here, it says history. That's interesting. In diagnosis, you should never ignore stuff like this, because this precisely describes the customer concern. It's perfectly fine in the morning, but I have a problem at night. I go digging into the infrared signal circuit code to understand. See, the first thing about diagnosis is, do you even know what's going on? Do you even know what this code means? All it says is infrared signal circuit. What infrared? What signal? What circuit? You go understanding, what does the computer mean by that? What it means is one of the infrared lights is not operating. That's all it says. It wants you to check connectors, it wants you to check the circuit, it wants you to do all kinds of stuff. Before we get into that, I want you to know something. Remember the part where I said this is a fully loaded LS460? We look at the headlight here. You see 3 beams, okay? We assume these are the low beams and this is a high beam, right? Watch the lights. This is a low beam. This is a high beam. Do you notice how this one never actually lit? It's the same 2. When we do high beams, a motor, actually you can even hear it, it lifts them up and they become high beam. So what is exactly this? What is this? That is an infrared light. It's basically a bulb that has a special reflector that cuts the light off the bulb but lets the infrared rays go out. And the reason for that is this car has an advanced pre-collision system that's meant for night driving. This ray of light that comes out is picked up by the two cameras here. So it would be able to distinguish, do we have a pedestrian? Do we have a car? Do we have a small animal that's running in front of the car? So it apply the brakes, part of the pre-collision system. But with this infrared light, it's able to see at night. And that's what we have a problem with. At this point, when you get into a problem like this, right now we're going to open our year one of PhD, because these systems are so complicated and so involved that it could be something super simple, or it could be a needle in a haystack. I don't know what we're going into. All I know is I have this car in my shop. I have a customer waiting, although he's waiting for his flight to leave the car with me, but I got to give him some kind of answer. We can't spend all day and just, well, I don't know what's going on. Just leave it and we'll hope for the best. I wanted to find something. So, here's what I did next. Going through this code, going back to it, I scrubbed through the entire procedure of how to test it and what it's supposed to do and whatnot. I found a place where it said, activate the infrared and see if they work. You have to see a dim lit light in these. I'm gonna actually do that right now. Infrared signal status. Let's activate it. When I turn it on, let's go to the headlight. Do you see how it's dimly lit? I'm gonna shut it off so you can see it. I'm gonna go on, off. Off, on, off. Now that's the driver's side. Let's go to the passenger side. Let's test it. On, off, on, off. Do you see how they both work? Well, when we initially got the car, this side didn't work. Nothing. That side worked. This side doesn't. Here's what I told the customer. Look, this car has been in an accident, and I can see the signs of it. Bumper's not sitting right. There's overspray on the paint. Things are not sitting right. So here's my concern with this. I told the customer, this headlight, I don't believe you can get them aftermarket, but it's possible. Anything is possible. I don't know. I don't deal in aftermarket. I'm not a body man. Maybe there is. Or did they get a used one that has something broken, something missing? Maybe they got the wrong computer. Who knows? Because this happened before his ownership. He doesn't have any paperwork on this. And also with accidents, I don't know if the wiring's been damaged, something is cut. All I know is this infrared light's not coming on. We got to investigate it. And the second concern that they had, the windshield washer doesn't work. Just nothing. You pull it, the wipers operate, no motor sound, nothing. So I told him, that's another issue we're going to investigate while we are there. But in order for me to pull this headlight, inspect everything, look at it, see if it's original, see if there's something wrong, I got to pull the bumper out. I only quoted them 1 hour of diagnosis at this time. Now we have test driven the car, looked into this, saw the problem, inspected the whole car, which this gentleman just drove 700 miles after this car has been dealership maintained with no coolant. I don't know how the thing didn't overheat. It had no coolant in the reservoir whatsoever, because the valley plate, or the heat exchanger underneath the intake manifold, has basically just puked all the coolant out. Did they tell him that at the dealership when he had an oil change a week ago, preparing for this trip? He did not. And judging by the amount of coolant that is out, I think this thing has been leaking for a while. Just nobody cared. Just top off the coolant, ship it. Nobody asked, where's the coolant going? They didn't care. So the customer authorized the diagnosis time. I quoted him an hour of diagnosis. We told him, we'll quote you, we'll need an additional hour. We'll pull the bumper out. We'll test all the wiring. We'll test everything. Look into the washer pump as well. See what's going on with it. Let you know. Maybe these two are related, because I have the washer pump is right here. What if there's a wire that's shared between them that is cut? I mean, anything is possible. And I noticed something at the time. This headlight, right now it's already fixed. When you move it, it like shook back and forth. It was loose. Like something is going on here. Somebody's been here that I feel like shouldn't have. Customer agrees. He wants to fix the valley plate. Actually, the car is due for more maintenance that the dealership didn't tell him. Transmission fluid is due. A few other fluids are due. I told him these are secondary items. I'm not going to do any of that. Not even going to do the valley plate. We're going to keep investigating this to figure out what's going on. Because I told him if we just, he asked me, he's like, what is the potential outcome here? I just want to understand, like, what could it be? I had to tell him the famous saying, my guess is as good as yours, because I don't know until we get into it. But if the headlight turns out to be the issue, something internal is broken, the computer is wrong, this is an aftermarket unit or the wrong unit. I mean, it looks right, but this headlight, you want to be seated for this one, is $3,500 each. Just for the unit. Doesn't even come with a computer. Computer is another $400. So we're talking about a $4,000 headlight almost, if that turns out to be the case. At that point, the customer just looks at me and is like, yeah, I don't think I would replace that if that was the case, but at least I would know what's wrong. That would be nice. So I understand. I can maybe budget on it on the side and we'll do it in the future, but I just want to know what's wrong with my car. I told him that's one scenario. Another scenario, wires broken, something going on, or it's not related to any of this. There's something else going on elsewhere, and that's when things get complicated. But so hoping for the best, staying positive. Let's go into it, see what happens. Customer left. Of course, at this time they're dropping it off for a long time. I didn't get to it until probably a couple days. We pulled the bumper, looked initially at the wiring. Everything looks intact. Pull this headlight out. Look at the computer, verify the part number. This is an original headlight. The computer is actually new because the other side doesn't look the same. Initially, my thought process was, if we don't find anything with the wiring, I'm going to swap the headlights because they are technically the same. They plug in, it's just the wrong side, just to test it again, see if the problem is inside this headlight. I just got to show you. It's easier to show you because unfortunately, we pulled that bumper for nothing. I could not believe that it would be something this simple. Look right there. Do you see this cover right here? This one right here, that comes off. That cover, if you look at it, it coincides with this. Okay? When I pulled the headlight out, I didn't do anything. I looked at the headlight, flipped it, right part number on it, went to verify. Computer part number, went to verify. We came back, I was like, okay, we have the right headlight, we have the right computer, so that scenario is out. I was about to set the headlight down and go look at the diagram. Let's start testing the wiring and see what's what. Curiosity got the best of me. I know this is an LED headlight. Why does it have this door? What is behind it? I just opened it on this side. There was no bulb. I just couldn't believe my eyes. There was no bulb. Until we actually fixed, I couldn't believe that was all it was. Well, the bulb was missing. I'm like, okay, well, what kind of bulb is supposed to be here? I've never really messed with one of these. They usually don't have a lot of issues. I went to the other side, pulled the bulb out. It literally looks like a halogen bulb. Nothing. I read the wattage on it. It's a strange wattage. I went to look at the diagram from parts. This headlight, when you buy it, it's an entire assembly except two parts. The computer and the bulb. Because this is an LED headlight. We ordered the bulb. The bulb was $35. Took like 2-3 days for some reason to show up, because apparently it's a special bulb, but it's not a good thing. It's not expensive. We put the bulb in, and I'm still skeptical. I can't believe they missed that. I mean, it's just a bulb. Put it in. We waited at night. Actually, the car didn't have the bumper. We secured everything just to drive it and see. Drove it at night. No warning lights. I was so skeptical, we actually pulled over, disconnected the bulb, and drove it again. Immediately, as soon as you get to 11 miles an hour, like clockwork, light comes on. That's all this car needed, folks. Me and you just diagnosed it in this video. That's all it needed. And the washer pump was broken. Literally where it connects to, it was just broken. Replace the washer pump, and now we have washers again. Let's go back to the beginning of the video. The owner of this car drove 700 miles for me to replace a bulb. Fix this car. A problem that they have been dealing with for the past 2 years. Can you believe that? What I can't believe is, why couldn't the dealership do this? I mean, they have this scan tool. They see the history code, because that history code, that code will set when you drive it at night, but when you drive it in the morning, it's going to revert to a history code. I mean, I did not even do any diagnosis in this car. God is my witness. We did not do diagnosis here. I didn't pull wiring diagrams and check wires and do this. I didn't do that. Hooked up a scan tool, saw a code, went through the procedure just to see what's what, which is available to the dealership, of course. There's an active test. Well, let's try it, see what happens. Let's just start kind of looking around. Well, this one is not coming on. That one is. Pull the headlight, do a few checks. Oh, bulb is missing. Put the bulb, everything is fixed. Why can't the dealership do that? They had it for 2 weeks. I diagnosed it in the morning. We didn't even drive this at night until we got the bulb, put it in, and went to drive it. Why couldn't they do that? It's beyond me, because this is not even difficult. This car should have been fixed 2 years ago, and it should have cost very little. We charged them 2 hours of labor for the bumper. We could have gotten that bulb, but of course we didn't know that. I couldn't believe it was something that simple. Bulb is $35. The pump, I think, was $80 plus the grommet that it sits on. Both these problems are fixed. Oh, and the washer was another one. No answer. They shrugged it off, focused on this, and didn't tell him anything about it. He just didn't bother to ask because he was so disgruntled from them. I don't blame him. My biggest concern is they didn't see the value plate. I'm not worried about this. Value plate is leaking. This engine overheats. This car is over. That's it. That's the level that some dealerships are at. Not all of them. Some of them will make this industry proud. And I will say the truth. A lot of them are like that. But it's the ones that just disregard. This is a Lexus, folks. These are luxury cars. I understand that this problem is not the end of the world. But this is a $100,000 car. You don't want to spend a little bit of time? Charge the customer for it. Hey, we charged you 2 hours of diagnosis. We still haven't found it, although this is not the case for this one. We charged you 2 hours of diagnosis. We haven't figured it out. We need more time. I mean, also, I get it. Your time is worth something. Here's the best part, though. Remember how I told you this headlight was shaking? So the body shop that this repair, God bless them, probably good people, but didn't do the finest job. There's a grommet right here. I actually have an extra one. I'll go get it so you see it. That grommet looks like this. See it? So the headlights can have a pin coming out of it. This grommet sits in the body, and then the pin locks in here to keep the headlight from moving side to side. This one was missing. That one was missing. This is $1.64. So the insurance company paid $3,500 to replace that headlight, because that is a replacement headlight. This one is original. They probably pulled it off to do some body work. They couldn't replace this. Nobody bothered doing this. Hey, this headlight's loose. Oh, let's pop it out, see what's going on. Oh, it's missing a grommet. It's just got a grommet, but no. Folks, this car is fixed. When I called the customer initially, I was skeptical. When we saw this bulb, I'm like, This is too simple. Like sometimes you get into diagnosis when you figure out something is small like this. It's like, this is too simple. I mean, I wish it is, but I'm not going to give the customer false hope. I'm going to put it on verify before we celebrate. I told him, look, I found a missing bulb. I don't know if that's going to be all we need here, but it's a missing bulb. I'm going to order the bulb. It's going to take a few days. Are you okay with this charge? He's like, yeah, of course. I mean, we're already onto something here. I'm like, I agree, but I just don't want to give false hope. We put the bulb, we drive it, it's fine. I call the customer. He was very unhappy with the situation. I'll be honest, and I'm with him. He's such a fine gentleman. He's like, are you sure it's fixed? Did you try it multiple times? Like, we literally reproduced the problem for it to happen again. And it did the exact thing that you described at night. Only at night, only on auto, because that's how the system works. It only works over 10 miles an hour at night driving when you're in an auto headlight. That's it, folks. This car is fixed. This problem is done. You got to do your due diligence with diagnosis. For technicians out there, I get it. Flat rate system and the pressure of the dealership management and all that. But you got to do your due diligence. Take it one step at a time. And sometimes the problem just ends up being a bulb that the body shop didn't install when they replaced this headlight because they didn't notice. Mistakes happen. But the problem is when you don't want to fix the car. I just don't want to deal with this. It's too complicated. I want to get it out and just get on to a brake job. Unfortunately, some technicians get into this mode. That's not a good mode, folks. Fix the car. That's why the customers bring you their cars, to fix it. That's the principal reason, not to do brakes and fluids and whatnot. That is not why we became technicians, folks. That breaks my heart, honestly. Fine, gentlemen. I'm really happy that we fixed the car. We're going to get to the valley plate, get to some of the other items, and this car is happily going back home, fixed, all ready to go. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like it, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some other videos. Until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.